Hi everyone, I'm Michelle from the Pilates Pod, and today I'm going to take you through a kindness Pilates practice. And what I mean by kindness Pilates, well, this year 2020 for Mental Health Awareness Week, it is the theme of kindness. And it's very easy for us to forget that that kindness extends to ourselves as well as others. Think of the kind of analogy in the plane: fit your own safety mask before you fit others. You need to adopt kindness to yourself. In a Pilates practice, what that means is that you don't always every day have to work the same way. You don't have to be a teacher and be able to do everything. You don't have to keep up with the Joneses of the person next to you. You do need to be intuitive. You do need to be kind to yourself, to be thinking less of the ego and more of, where does this feel right for me? Where does it feel the deepest? Does it matter if this is not the full exercise? No. So be kind to yourself, be true to yourself, and you will definitely get a lot more out of your own practice. So in the spirit of kindness to myself, I've got hardly any makeup on, I have washed my hair and not done anything with it, I'm outside my garden, my kids very well may interrupt us. So let's have a look at kindness Pilates. So the first thing you notice is I just took a seat. Not in any fancy Pilates way, I don't want to worry about that now. I'm just going to take a seat into the mat, and then I want you to just lie down. Do lie down with your knees bent. It does feel kinder to your back than when the legs are straight, pulling the pelvis forward and down. So knees bent. First of all I want you to do is to place the palm of the hands into the ground and just be aware. So as you breathe in and out, try, and if you can, to breathe through the nose. Just be aware of your breath. All we're doing at this point is just to be aware of your breath. The breath will tell you a lot about how you're feeling today, and if my breath is quite shallow and quite pacey, I might need to just connect with my breath a bit more today and to slow that down. And start to use your breath to help you with your movements. And govern your movements with your breath rather than trying to fit it in. Next thing I want you to be aware of are your bones. So bring awareness to your head. Aware that your head is heavy on the ground. Be aware of your shoulders. Do they feel like they're sticking up? Maybe you need to go wider with the hands. Maybe elbows bent. You don't have to have them by your sides if it's causing your chest to round. Open. Be aware of your rib cage. Is it sticking up off the floor? Sometimes when we're holding a lot of tension in the body, we just need to soften the tension to be aware of the ribs dropping. Now be aware of the pelvis. So start to just be aware whether the hips are level. Do you feel the one side of the body shifting more than the other? Don't fix it, just be aware. Be aware of your feet. Are you aware of the feet and the knees rolling in or rolling out? Just being aware. So now we're going to start to just allow a foot to lift. So take a foot up off the floor, just a couple of inches, and place the foot down. Again, not fixing, just being aware. Take the other foot up off the floor, a couple of inches, and take it down. Keep taking the foot up a couple of inches and taking it down. As you're moving through this foot lift here, be aware of whether your weight is rocking to one hip or the other. So now, going from that awareness and thinking, pull the abdominals up strongly, lengthening and elongating the back, press down on your standing foot strongly, and then as you float the foot up, are the hips a little more aligned? And take it down. Lift the abdominals strongly. Press into the standing foot, take the other leg up and place it down. So just notice as you're doing this, do you need to increase the work to the deep abdominals and lift them stronger on one side in order to feel the work more even in the pelvis? And that information will give you a lot of information about your body generally as a whole. One more time each side. Lift. So for me, I know that I've always got one right hip that's slightly more twisted from carrying my children around, and just really from pregnancy from a couple of years ago, from having a large baby. So now we're going to slide the leg. Slide through the heel and bring it back in. Slide leading at the heel and bring it back in. And again, we're just noticing and being aware. Slide and bring it back in. As you slide the leg out, notice and be aware what happens to the pelvis. Does it rock again like we just discovered a minute ago? When the leg goes out, do you feel your lower back changing and going down towards the toes? Do you feel your hip getting longer on one side and shorter on the other side? Be aware. And then use that information to tell you what's going on in your body. Now start to try to correct it more. Lift the lower abdominals up strongly, keeping the pelvis stable as you slide the leg out. Only go out as far as you can keep the lower back lifted and stable. So maybe that is enough. Maybe I could go further. But maybe if I straighten my leg fully, I fall. So be aware and be kind. Lift the abdominals, stretch, and bring it in. Okay, so the next thing we're going to go and do is the chest lift. Take the hands one on top of the other, hold the back of your head. Be aware again of whether your elbows down on the floor like this are lifting your rib cage up. Do you need to have your elbows a little higher to feel the back of the ribs soften to the floor? Then curl up your head, neck and shoulders, eyes looking down to the abdomen, and then lower back down. Do it a couple of times, lift up the weight of the head, neck and shoulders, and take it down. Be aware of how that feels in your neck, how much effort feels in your stomach, how much does the bum lift. Be aware. Now try to move the body with a little bit more kindness. So as you lift up the head, neck and shoulders, scoop your lower belly up strongly, be aware of the pelvis stable, and then lift as you breathe out. Check that you're not lifting up by lifting your bum up. Bum is down, you're being aware. Now as you go back down again, pull the abdominals up stronger and then lengthen away as you return down. Lift the abdominals and come up. And then scoop the back, belly back in to return. One more time. Scoop to lift and to return. So the reason why this is super important to begin with is this little foot lift tells you a lot of information about where your pelvis is. And if you have got that slightly rotated pelvis or weaker on one side, lifting your foot will take that stability away and you have to work stronger in your abdominal wall on that side. Sliding the leg out will tell you a lot about squaring the box. As your leg slides, does the whole hip slide on that side? Does the back change shape? Do you move to one side? So it's giving you information, and this is really important. This is kind of pre-Pilates stuff. It's going to give you information that you need to later on in the rest of the exercises that might have that. Take example, the heel slide. If I move that into a single leg stretch, do my hips drop on one side constantly? So let's also think about what we just did there in the chest lift. Many times on the chest lift, we just bring the weight of the head, neck and shoulders up and we all feel it in our neck and not a lot in our center, or we lift our butt up. So if we're being kind to ourselves and really getting into our basics, lifting the abdominals heavy through the hips, tailbone long, lengthening rounded but with a lifted round rather than just a small crunch, then we'll get a nice elongation through the back as we go forward. So I want you to use those three basics, those three pre-Pilates exercises in all of your Pilates exercises. Now we're going to take a look at the 100. So back onto your mat again. Center yourself on your mat. So using that information that we just arrived at, whether things lift and twist, slide and drop, or the chest lift, put it all together for the 100. So keeping your feet down, legs together, squeeze it in the thighs without clenching the butt. Drop the pelvis heavy and send the tailbone long. hands behind the head, lift the abdominals to lengthen the back and curl up the head, neck and shoulders. Reach the arms forward. Now, again, be kind to yourself. If you are quite large boobied, as I am, then you might need to have your hands wide, otherwise you feel it a lot in the chest. Otherwise, hands are going to go over the top of the thighs. Curl up to the point where it's out of the neck and into the abs. Bum down. Vigorously pump your arms up and down. Now notice, my arms are going up, above my belly, down to the floor. Up, down. Vigorously between those 2 points. It's not down here. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Squeeze the legs, warming the body. Now as you're doing the exercise, I want you to pull the belly in and up. And as I do so, can you see how my upper body just lifts a little higher? Whereas if I relax my belly, I get a bit closer to the floor. Pull the abdominals in and up. Pull it. Now of course what that means is, it's tiring on my stomach. And then pause, lift and lengthen to come down. So being kind to yourself doesn't mean to say the whole 100 has to be done in the same way. Let's progress the exercise and then we'll come back to that concept. Take one leg out in line with the other knee. Squeeze the legs together. Feel the bottom wrapping but not squeezing tight. Pelvis heavy. Slide the leg down the leg and bring it back up. Slide the leg down the leg and bring it back up. Notice where does it slide to. So I could go to the floor and fall out of my back, kind of like I did my leg slide, or from my knee I could slide it less. However, of course, if you can go down and keep the lower back long. So let's begin here, the 10, 10, 10. Legs squeeze together, hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Scoop the belly more as you lower the leg down slightly. Make sure the pelvis isn't dropped on one side, it's lifted. If this is your weaker side, have to work harder. Lift the lower back bones but don't clench the bum. Hold again for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now the last point, lower an inch further down or to the point that you can hold the pelvis square, the leg is connected up into your bottom and the lower back is lifted still. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back up to the knee and bend. We're going to change sides, do a little quicker. Stretch out, square the hips, lengthen the tailbone and hold. Press the legs. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the abdominals, grow tall and stretch the front of the hip out. Hold 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift the abdominals, make sure the hips are square, go just to the point that you feel it the deepest in your belly, deep inside your lower abdominals. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift back to the knee and then lower back down. So now your 100 is going to come from this point. Stretch the leg out. Take the leg to knee in line with the knee to start with, and then as we go downwards, only go down as far as you just did in your 10, 10, 10 to the lowest point you felt connected. So from here, chest lifts up, lift, head and shoulders, arms up, arms down, pump, in and out. You can look at your own stomach and hips. Do you see the pelvis dropping off to one side? Anchor it. Take it a little lower, lifting the back. Take it a little higher if you feel it deeper in your belly. Don't work the challenge, work the true work. Change sides. Deepen your abdominals. Where is it that I feel it the deepest in my belly and the most elongated in my back? Is it here? Is it higher? Is it there? Is it lower? Where is it? Finish and return. So obviously I don't expect you to do all of these as your 100. We're just looking at which is your 100. So now let's look at the next level. You're going to bring the knees in. I'm choosing to bring the knees in one at a time. You may choose to bring the legs in together. Your choice. Curl up the head, neck and shoulders. Lift the stomach to lift the head. Now we're going to go up to the ceiling with the legs. And as they go up, make sure the bum is down. Arms up. As the legs go up, the stomach goes down. Up. Up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lift the stomach. Breathe in. Squeeze the legs and lift the stomach. One more time. Really drop the belly into the floor. Bend the knees and keep them with you as you lower them down. One more version. Bring the knees back in. Curl up the head, neck and shoulders. Lift. Go back up to legs lifted. Pelvis heavy. Stomach up, arms up. Now, keep the back elongating and send the front of the legs forward and feel deep in the belly. Up. Squeeze. Heavy the hips on both sides. Up. Lift the stomach strongly. And bend. Return. So, as I said, not all of those is going to be your 100. One of those will be your best version of your 100. And that is the philosophy that I want you to place in to every exercise for kindness to yourself. Where is it today, day you're working out, do you feel that exercise the deepest? Where does it feel the best elongation through the back? That doesn't mean to say where is it the easiest or hardest. Some people like to back off and make it really easy for themselves. Other people love to do the biggest challenges. Be true. Where does it feel the best shape? Where does it feel the deepest? It may not be your biggest exercise. It may be kind of a modified variety of the exercise. And by variety, I don't mean a random choice, but a choice for the exercise that is modified, suitable for you. Be kind with your practice and get the best from it. I am choosing at the minute to have my legs in and up to the ceiling. My belly drops down, my back elongates the most. That for me feels the best. Yes, can I go legs all the way out and 2 inches on the floor? Yes, but I get tired and I feel like I hang in my hips after a while. I can hold it because my stomach is strong enough, my hips are strong enough, but it doesn't feel the truest. So I'm reining it in at the minute. Pick your kindest position and then all the exercises will be beautiful. Be kind to yourself. See you later.